Hey guys, on this video I'm going to show you how to do a forward bay park towards the right hand side. On the next one I'll probably show you how to do it on the left, but for now we're going to keep it simple. I'm going to show you how to do it on the right. The left is going to be the same pretty much, so if you're trying to do the left one, use the same technique. So I'm going to show you two ways of doing it, one kind of freestyle and the other way using a reference point. So if you want to know how to do that, let's go. To do a forward bay park, first of all you need to know exactly what bay you're going to go into before you try. It's no good trying to turn and then deciding which bay you're parking in afterwards. Have a plan, aim for the particular bay, that way it's going to be easier. What we're going to do, I'm going to show you two different ways of doing it. I'm going to aim for the second bay, so after the yellow bin there's one bay, and there's one after. We're going to aim for the one just after the first one after the bin, yeah? I'm going to show you one way, which kind of doing it like a freestyle. And then I'm going to show you a different way using a reference point. So let's start with the freestyle one first. The way you want to treat this is like you're turning into a road. So I'm going to treat that like a lane. I'm turning into a new road. I'm going to aim for that turn, and you want to start this quite wide. So I'm looking around first of all to make sure it's safe. And because I'm a bit close to the base, I'm going to move a bit to my left first by checking my mirror first of all, and then I'm going to signal right to let people know that I'm going to the right side. Check my mirror again, just check them over my right shoulder, make sure it's still safe. I'm going in there really slowly. My clutch is it's just around the biting point, it's not going above that. I'm going super slow. I'm checking to keep an eye on that line there. I can't see it anymore now, it's disappeared, so I'm just gonna have to use my imagination. I just remember where the lines were. I'm just gonna keep going forward slowly. I'm gonna start checking my center mirror. So not my center mirror, my little mirror on the right and my little mirror on the left. I can see the lines on one side, I can see them, and I can see the other side as well, and I can see that the car is inside. Then I can stop the car there, clutch down all the way, brake, neutral, hand brake, and I'm inside the bay. Okay, so the next stage now would be to reverse back out. We want to face towards that way. So on the test, the examiner will tell you which way they want you to face the car. So they might say something like, can you reverse back so we're facing that way please? So if I know I'm going to be facing that way, I need to bring the car to reverse like this, which is going to be towards the right. So I know I'm going to turn the right, so I need to make the car go towards that side. So I'm having a nice look around first of all before I move anywhere. Check over my shoulders as well, into this mirror as well, checking behind me. Then I'm just getting it just to the biting point, bringing it down again on the clutch so I don't go too fast. Then once I get to like halfway out of the bay, I'm just going to do a full lock to the right. I'm just being, if there was a car there I'd be more careful, but right now it's empty, so I know I'm not going to interfere with anything on that side. But if there was a car parked there, I would have to be very careful. I might even come out a bit more first and then start turning. Yeah, so once I get to about here, there's enough room for me to drive on now. I get into gear one. Remember my steering was still facing a bit to the right, so I'm just going to be careful as I move off, checking all around again, and then I drive off. So another way of doing this is using a reference point. Because you're further away from the bays, it's not going to be as easy to do as the reverse bay park, because that one you're quite close to the bays and the line is nice and easy to see where the reference point is. So on this one I prefer to do the kind of freestyle way, but some people can't do it that way, so you're gonna have to use a reference point. So I'm going to show you my reference point. Your one might be slightly different depending on how you sit in the car. So some people sit quite far forward, so their reference point might be a bit more forward. Some people sit back quite a lot, so their reference point might be quite further back, depending on how they're sitting, depending on the car as well. So I'm going to show you on this one, which is a Ford Fiesta, which is a very common car for learners to learn in. I'm going to show you my reference point. So same observations as before. We'll look around all the way, make sure it's safe. I'm just going to keep it nice and straight. Remember, we're aiming for the second bay, so not the first one. And we want the first line of the bay that we want to end up in, we want it to be around here where the speaker is, so like there. So now I'm in the right position now. I'm going to look around again, put a signal on, and then as soon as I start moving, I'm going to lock it towards the right. That way my car should go in nicely. Looking around, make sure it's safe. Once I get the car straight like around here, I'm going to undo that full lock by going back to the middle and checking my mirrors. Especially on this side I can see the car is inside the line, and I can see on there as well, and then I can put my clutch down and brake, handbrake on as well. go into neutral, come off the pedals smoothly, and then it's parked. And I can just, if I'm not sure, I can always make sure the car's secured first of all, then I can double check. See that it's nicely parked in the middle. And the next stage again would be to reverse back out. So I'm going to pretend that there's a car parked next to me this time, so I'll show you how to do that one as well. So if in case there's a car next to you, so you don't scratch it. So you look around again as normal, make sure it's safe. So it looks empty in this car park, but I'm still looking around because sometimes people get too comfortable in the empty car park and think, oh, I don't have to look around now because it's empty. But things are always changing, so I have to always look around to make sure it's still safe. And if there was a car there, I would come out about this far, so I'm almost out of the bay, and then I'm gonna check around again. I'm gonna do a full lock to the right. Sometimes there'll be cars parked behind you as well, and if you haven't got enough room, you can just stop like now. Let's say the cars are quite close to me behind there, you can stop like now, because now there'll be enough room for me to turn towards the left and go about my way. So I'm gonna look to that side again, make sure I check with my shoulders too, and then I'm gonna turn towards the direction I need to go in. Now, there will be times when you get this maneuver wrong, or you go in there in the wrong way and it ended up in the middle of the bay, and you will be allowed to fix it actually. So I'm going to show you how to fix it so you don't stress out and panic for no reason. So let's imagine that we've been told to do this. So remember, on the test, they're not going to tell you which side to park on. It's going to be the left or the right. It's up to you, but I'm going to choose to go to the right, same bay as before, second one on the right there. So I'm going to look around. I'm going to signal to go in. So let's say I've turned a bit late and then I've ended up over 2 bays. So like that, for instance. I can see in my little mirror there, I don't think you can tell, but the line's very far away, so I'm just going to show you what I mean. So I'm going to secure it for a second. See how far that line is? If it's that far away, there's no way that we're inside the bay, because it means that we're over this line as well. So the other line will probably be somewhere like here, which is not ideal. We can't leave the car like this, and the examiner's not going to tell you whether you're inside the line or not. It's going to be up to you to tell yourself that you're not inside properly. And the easy way to do this is think about where you want the car to go first of all. So right now we're too far this way in this bay here. We want to move the car a bit more towards the right, so towards the space. So you always turn towards the space. So as you reverse, we're going to turn towards the space which is over there. So I'm going to get into reverse. I'm going to look around, make sure there's no one behind me. And then I'm turning towards the space. I'm just imagining where that space was. It was about this. You can see the line in front of me as well, so I know that the back is probably far enough towards that side now, because I can see the line on that side. And then once I get to there, I can start turning the other way to bring the front in line with the bay as well. Now the lines have completely disappeared, I can't see them anymore. I'm just going to keep reversing back, make sure it's safe behind me as far as I can. And now I can see the lines in front, and I can get into gear 1, look around again, then I can line the car up. I can still turn and make sure it's nice and straight. Now I can't see the lines anymore. I'm just imagining where they were, and then I can straighten up my wheels, and I can see the line in the mirror there, and I can see that the car is inside the bay, and can secure the car. So they will get to a point when you can't see the lines anymore, and that's normal unless your car is made out of glass or something, but it's normal for you to not see the lines anymore. What you have to do is just remember where they were, and then visualize where the car is in relation to those lines. I'm going to show you as well when to straighten up, because sometimes people get confused by that. So once you go into the bay, the point when you need to start straightening up can be a bit tricky, because you won't see the bays anymore, you won't see the lines anymore. So you need to kind of use your imagination to remember where the lines were and where your car needs to be in relation to those lines. So if you look at the barrier that's on the end here, it's at a right angle with these bays here. So when we go in, when our car's kind of right angle with the barrier as well, we can straighten up. Some car parks, depending on where it is, sometimes the barrier or the fence might be like at that sort of angle or this sort of angle. Obviously you can't use that then, because if you straighten up while you're looking forward and it looks like it's straight with the barrier, you might not be straight with the base. So it all depends on how the car park is laid out. So on this one, it should be straightforward because the lines and the barrier at the end are at a right angle. So I'm just gonna signal right so people know where we're going. Full lock. So once I get to like here, so if you look now, the car's still facing towards that way. If I straighten up now, that's where the car's gonna go. So it's way too early to start straightening up. I'm going in there nice and slowly. I'm keeping it now on this line as well because I can still see this line. That's gonna be probably my best bet to use to decide when to straighten up. So once I can see my car is like around here, it's facing more towards straight. It's still a bit towards the left, but not that much. It's more along the line now. And then once I get to like here, I can straighten up now because I don't want it to go too far towards the right, otherwise it's going to be wonky. And then now you can see it's straight towards the fence, and then I can confirm that by looking at the mirror there, and you can see the little mirror, the line is going along the car. Maybe you can tell, get a bit closer there, it's going along the car, it's not going at a diagonal angle. So I can go forward a bit more, and I can see definitely it should be straight now because the line is still going along the car. So if it wasn't straight, you'd see that the line, the white line, would be like that or like this. Then you'd know, okay, the car is not straight in the bay, and there's a chance that you might be on the line with the front wheel. Sometimes if you look at the back wheels, they look like they're in, they will be in, but if you're not careful, the front might be out. And if you're not sure, you can check. Just make sure you secure the car and you check. You can come out and check, and if it's not straight, you can, or if it's not on the if it's on the line, sorry, then you can correct it. If it's not on the line, if your car is inside the bay but it's close to one of the lines, don't worry, that's fine as well. You don't need to make any corrections then. Just leave it as it is. Only make a correction if any of your wheels are touching the line or the over a line, or your car's in between two bays. Okay, so as I go in this time, watch how much times I turn the steering wheel towards the right to get it to full lock. So I'm going to do one full turn and then another half full, so one full turn and a half, which will get the wheels to be locked to the right. So right now they're in the middle and straight, and so to get to the right lock, it's going to be 1.5 turns. So to undo that full lock, to go back to the middle again, it's going to be 1.5 turns towards the left. So I'll show you a mistake that a lot of learners make. They turn full lock to the right, but then they don't undo the full lock properly, which means that the car is still going towards the right. I'll show you what I mean. So if I get into gear 1, look around, make sure it's safe, and I'm going to signal to go in. Use that reference point, so I'll turn in now. So you see I've turned a full lock to the right, and what a lot of learners do once the car is straight like now, they'll just do a little turn like this, and you see the car still going towards the right. As soon as you feel that the car is going the wrong direction, you should stop the car and think about what you need to do for now, because sometimes you can save it before it becomes too late. So right now I can feel the car is going that way, and my steering wheel looks like it's straight, but it can't be straight if my car is going that way, which means I need to turn it another 360 turn to the left to get the position back like this again. So before I go any further, I'm just gonna turn it like that. So now when I move it forward even a tiny bit, I can see that the car is going in the right direction, not going that way, it's not going this way, it's just going straight. So all I need to do now is concentrate on the mirrors to make sure that I don't hit the bar over there, and I'm not bringing my clutch up too high, just a tiny bit at a time. And now I'm inside the bay. I can secure the car, handbrake, neutral, car secured, and then I can relax. Yeah, so remember, when it's time for you to straighten up, make sure you do the same amount of turns you've done to come into the bay to undo it. Otherwise your car is still going to be facing towards the right or towards the left, depending on how much you've turned. A common mistake that some learners make is starting too close to the bays that they want to end up in. So right now we're going to turn to the right, and we're very close to the right side here. Ideally what you want to be is further to the left. So when you start moving, if you find yourself in this position, you want to move towards the left and then turn to the right if that's the only option, or just choose the bays that are on the other side. So I'll show you what I mean right now, what will happen if you start too close. It makes it a lot more difficult to do, so we're going to do a full check. So aiming for the same second bay over there. So if I'm like here, and then if I use that reference point again and then turn in, you see the car's not going to have enough room to straighten up before you run out of space. So right now I run out of space and I'm too close to the barrier over there. So if you can still correct this if you think about it early enough. What you don't want to do is keep driving towards the barrier and get too close, and then the examiner has to take action by braking for you. Take the initiative and sort it out before it becomes a problem. So like now, I know I can't go any further towards the right over there, otherwise I'm gonna hit the barrier. I could go back and start all over again, or I could just think about where my car is in relation to this bay. I can see in the mirror there, the back was inside but the front was way out, so I need to reverse back a bit. I'm gonna do quite a lot to the left. Yeah, so I'm going to make the correction. I want to make sure I can see exactly where I'm going. So I'm going back all the way out of the bay. And then once I'm here, I'm turning a bit to the right so I can line. I'm using my imagination. I remember the bay was over there somewhere, and I want to bring the front so the front is just in front of the bays again, so you can see there. So now I can see the lines and the car's a bit straighter. I can straighten up now. Into gear 1, around again, and then go in there slowly, making sure I can make any corrections. Now I can't see the lines anymore. I'm just gonna have to use my imagination again and use the mirrors on the side there. And now I can see the line. I can see the back wheels inside properly. I don't need to go any further. I can stop there and I can secure the car. Yeah, if you haven't got those little mirrors, you can bring your big mirror down. Just don't forget to bring them up again before you drive on. But I'll definitely recommend those small mirrors. They're only like £2 something from eBay. You just stick them on and they make parking really easy. And they're also, the main uses for like when you're changing lanes and things like that, they're called blind spot mirrors, but they're really useful for parking as well. You can use another reference point. So let's say you're not sure how far forward to go in. So right now, when I look at that barrier there, the bottom of it is just underneath my wing mirror. So that's how I know I've gone far enough. If I go any further than that, I'll probably hit the curb, I'll probably hit the fence. And if my mirror was further back this way, I'll probably be too far out of the bay. And again, if you're not sure, you can always secure it and just have a look and you can see the car's inside. Once it's inside, the examiner will tell you, okay, thanks, let's drive on please. Let's make the car, can you come out making the car face that way please? Okay, no problem. Have a look around again. And turn to come out. And then drive on. So when you're making a correction, if you have to make a correction because you made a mistake, make sure you use the space that you have. So I'll show you what I mean. So like right now, I'm gonna do it a bit wrong so that I'm too far to the left. I can see in the mirror there, the line is very far away from the car. You see, lots of room there, so we're definitely out. So sometimes what learners will do in this situation is, sometimes in a rush as well, to just look around and then reverse back a bit, like that much, and then try to go forward. This is not going to be enough room. You're not going to have enough room to do much with this. So if I go forward now, see, there's still lots of room on that side, and I can see on that side there's no line on that mirror, so it means I'm not inside the bay. What you want to do is make sure you come out all the way so you can see the lines properly and use that space. So remember, we're going to turn towards where the space is, which is towards the right. So that's our plan. We're going to turn towards the space. So look around properly. Turning towards the space, and I can see the line over there, and the back of my car is in line with that line now, so I don't need to go any more right. So I can start turning towards the left a bit now to get the front in, so I can see both lines now, and I'm going to straighten up my wheels Make sure there's nothing behind. Get into gear 1, look around again. And bring it in slowly, making any small adjustments as I go forward. And I can see the car is inside that side, and I can stop and secure it. So throughout this maneuver, make sure you're looking around all the time. Right now it's an empty car park, but I'm not taking that for granted. And in the car park that you might be in for your test, it might be quiet, it might be busy, but either way you want to be looking around all the time, especially on this bit when you're reversing out as well, because that's when people like to walk behind the car, people with their trolleys. Remember, you might get this maneuver in a supermarket car park, so those can be really busy, or even in the test center where there's other cars parked, other people doing stuff. So you want to be looking everywhere, and make sure you stop for anybody going past you as well. So if somebody's going past now, I'll stop, let them go past, and then I'll carry on again, looking around first, and then I'll do my thing. And also, if there are people in the car park like coming towards you before you make your turn, just make sure you stop for them and let them do their thing, unless you've made eye contact and they're allowing you to turn. Just make sure you know exactly what the other car is doing, so that you don't get in anybody's way. Okay, so that's the end of that one. I hope you guys found it useful. So remember, the key points are plan your bay first. Don't just aim for a random bay. Choose one that you gonna actually go for, one that's not near cars, one that's free, and if once you've chosen it, make sure you're far away from it when you begin. So if you park into the right, start far away on the left so you can turn in with lots of room to play with. If you're parking on the left, start far away on the right, and then you can turn in. If you need to make any corrections, again, take your time to plan what you're going to do in terms of where you're going to reverse, which way you're going to turn, and don't rush it. Look around loads, so when you start from the start, looking around loads, and also before you reverse it back out again, look around as you're reversing as well. So, and stop for anybody that's going past you. So if you follow those simple tricks and simple tips, it should be pretty easy for you. Main thing is to stay relaxed. So even if you feel like it hasn't gone right, don't panic, stay relaxed and figure it out. You will have time to do that. So I hope you found that useful. If you did, remember to subscribe to the channel. There's lots more videos like this, so I'll see you guys on the next one.